This is a Cartesian, this is a parametric sum where we have to find the values of t. It says we have to find the value of t when it cuts the x-axis. So at x-axis y equals to 0. So if you put y equals to 0 here, so 1 minus 2 cos t equals to 0. That means 1 equals to 2 cos t. Therefore cos t equals to half. Now since we have to find two values of t, we have to use the quadrant and basic angle rule. So we can find this, right? Cos theta positive is first quadrant and fourth quadrant. So the basic angle is going to be cos inverse of half. Cos inverse of half is going to be 60 degree, cos 60 degrees adjacent by hypotenuse. So cos 60 degree means pi by 3. So the basic angle is pi by 3 and this is also pi by 3. So the first angle is going to be t equals to pi by 3, and for the fourth quadrant it's going to be t equals to 360. 360 means 2 pi in radian format minus pi by 3. That means 3 to the 6 minus pi. 6 pi minus pi is 5 pi, so this will be 5 pi by 3. So we found the values of t, pi by 3 and t equals to 5 pi by 3. So this is done. Now question number B, they're saying that the shaded region should be given by this integral and we have to find that. So the shaded region is given here. So what we found here is the limit. So that means this is one value of x. Suppose this is a and this is the limit b. So by the Cartesian rule, so area would be from limit a to limit b y dx. This is the curve y. So we don't know the Cartesian equation, but we know the parametric equation. So we have to convert this Cartesian integral into the parametric integral by substitution. So by the substitution rule, we have to first of all change the limit. We already know the limit t equals to pi by 3 to 5 pi by 3. We have to put the value of y. We know y equals to 1 minus 2 cos t. We have to put it there. And dx, for finding dx, we have to find the derivative of x. So that's what we have to do for this particular sum. So let's do this. So let's scroll down. So for question number B, the limits are, first of all let me write out the Cartesian version, what we have to actually do. So the area would be x1 to x2 y dx. So the limits that we have is t equals to pi by 3 and t equals to 5 pi by 3. So we know the limits. Now we know x equals to, so we know what x is, t minus 2 sine t, t minus 2 sine t. So therefore dx by dt, derivative of t is 1, sine t derivative is 2 cos t. So therefore dx is 1 minus 2 cos t, and we are sending the dt to this side. So now we can easily do the substitution. Therefore area equals to, so we are doing the limit, this is pi by 3 and x2 is 5 pi by 3. In place of y we put 1 minus 2 cos t, because that's what was given here. 1 minus 2 cos t, y equals to, and the substitution of dx is going to be 1 minus 2 cos t dt. That means pi by 3, 5 pi by 3, 1 minus 2 cos t into 1 minus 2 cos t is 1 minus 2 cos t whole square dt. So that's all they asked for. So this was question number B. In question number C, we have to evaluate this integral. We have to find the value of this integral. So the area would be pi by 3 to 5 pi by 3 is the limit. Now this is a minus b whole squared. If I break the bracket, so 1 minus 2ab, so 2 to the 4 cos t plus b square is 4 cos squared t dt. Now the integration of 1 is t, the integration of cos t is sine t, but the integration of cos squared t, for that we need to use an identity. So let me write it out here. We know cos 2 theta is 2 cos squared theta minus 1. So cos 2 theta plus 1. Now if we send this 2 downstairs, it would be equals to cos squared theta. So therefore in cos squared theta we can write half cos 2 theta plus half. So in cos squared theta we can write half cos 2 theta plus half. That will be the value. So when you integrate t1, it becomes t. So before that, let me rearrange it and simplify it. So this is pi by 3, 5 pi by 3, 1 minus 4 cos t can be integrated by the fundamental rule of calculus, 4, and this is, let me write this one, it's easier to write this, cos 2t plus 1 divided by 2 dt. That means instead of cos squared theta, I'm writing cos 2t, meaning 2 theta plus 1 divided by 2. I can cancel this 2 with this 4, so it would be pi by 3, 5 pi by 3, 1 minus 4 cos t plus, now 2 into cos 2t is 2 cos 2t plus 2 into 1 is 2 dt. Now we can integrate. So pi by 3, 5 pi by 3, 2 plus 1 is 3 minus 4 cos t plus 2 cos 2t dt. So the integral of 3 is going to be 3t minus 4 cos t. Now the derivative of sine t is cos t. So by the fundamental rule of calculus, the integral of cos t is going to be sine t divided by the chain rule. Derivative of the angle t is 1 plus 2 derivative of cos t, again sine 2t, theta is 2t, divided by the chain rule. So derivative of 2t is 2. So we have pi by 3 to 5 pi by 3. So if you cancel this 2 and this 2, so what we get here is 3 into 5 pi by 3 minus 4 sine 5 pi by 3 plus sine 2 into 5 pi by 3. This 3 and this 3 cancels, minus, now we put this one pi by 3, so 3 into pi by 3 minus 4 sine into pi by 3 plus sine into 2 pi by 3. Okay, so we can simplify this. This is 5 pi minus 4. Now sine pi by 3, we can bring out our calculator. Pi by 3. Pi means 180 degrees, so pi by 3 means 60 degrees. So 5 into 60 degree is 300 degrees. So sine 300 degree is minus 0.866. 0.866 means square root of 3 by 2. So this means minus square root of 3 by 2 plus again 5 pi by 3 into 2. So we just calculated pi by 3 is 60 degree into 5 is 300 degree into 2 is 600 degree. So sine 600 degree is minus 0.866, meaning minus root 3 by 2. So this is what we are getting here, minus, now this pi and this pi cancels, we get a pi here, so minus 4. Now sine 60 degree, this is sine 60 degrees opposite by hypotenuse, root 3 by 2, plus sine 2 into 60 degree, that means sine 120 degree. So 60 degree into 2 is 120 degree, so sine 120 degree is again root 3 by 2, so this is going to be root 3 by 2. So now we can simplify, so 5 pi minus minus plus 4 root 3 by 2 minus root 3 by 2 minus pi, then minus into minus is plus 4 root 3 by 2 minus root 3 by 2. So if we calculate, 5 pi minus pi is 4 pi, 4 root 3 by 2 plus 4 root 3 by 2 is 8 root 3 by 2, so plus 8 root 3 by 2 minus root 3 by 2 minus root 3 by 2 is minus 2 root 3 by 2, just like doing algebra, minus x is minus twice x. So now we have this 2 and this 2 cancels, 2 4s are 8, so we have 4 pi plus 4 root 3 minus root 3 is 3 root 3. So that's the answer. Here we have to find, let's directly go to the question. We have to find the equation of a tangent. So we can see we have this curve here and we have this tangent at the point A. So at this point we have a tangent drawn at the point A, and at the point C, both A and point C are on the y-axis. Y-axis means x equals to 0. So at the point C we have another tangent. So this tangent at C and this tangent at A, they're intersecting and meeting at the point D. This point D is on the x-axis, meaning y equal to 0, and the curve is cutting at the x-axis at the point B. So it's not, you don't have to read the entire question and then start doing the sum. It's often a good idea to just start doing the sum directly. So the main question is find the equation of the tangent at A. To find the equation of a tangent at A, we need the point and we need the gradient. So first of all, let's find the gradient. So dy by dx means dy by dt divided by dx by dt. So dy by dt, derivative of a sine t, so a is a, derivative of sine t is cos t, then dx by dt, so we have a cos 3t, so a is a, derivative of cos theta is minus sine theta, and derivative of the angle is 3, so this would be minus thrice a sine 3t. So therefore dy by dx is equals to dy by dt, which is a cos t, divided by dx by dt, which is minus thrice a sine 3t. So this a and this a cancels, so we get cos t divided by 3 sine 3t. So for finding the gradient, we need to find the value of t at that particular point. Now we know that this time we know the point. The point A has x coordinate 0 and y coordinate half or 0.5. So this time we have the Cartesian coordinate. Now we need the value of t. So y-axis, at the y-axis x coordinate is 0, so at A x equals to 0. So if I just plug in this, so a cos 3t equals to x coordinate is 0. That means cos 3t equals to 0 divided by a is 0. So we have value of cos theta as 0. You have to have this memorized from C2. So cos theta is 0 at 90 degree and 270 degree. So 90 degree means pi by 2, 273 degree means 3 pi by 2. So therefore t can be pi by 6 if you divide it by 3, and it can be pi by 2. So t has two values, pi by 6 and pi by 2. Now since you have two values, all you have to do is take the first value. So you can take t equals to pi by 6. So let me come here. So when t equals to pi by 6. Now we have to find the gradient, dy by dx. It would be minus cos pi by 6 divided by 3 sine 3 into pi by 6. So pi by 6 means 30 degree. Cos 30 degree is adjacent by hypotenuse, that means root 3 by 2 divided by 3 sine pi by 6 into 3, 3 to the 6, pi by 2. Sine pi by 2 means sine 90 degrees. Sine 90 degrees is 1. So minus root 3 by 2 divided by 3, that means minus root 3 by 6. So when you have the gradient, you know the gradient is minus root 3 by 6. Okay, now we know that the point A, this is actually not, this is from the sketch. It seems as if it is 0.5, but we cannot, it's a good idea to actually find it. We cannot just look at the graph and put the point as 0.5, because this is a point on the curve. So let's find the y coordinate separately and the x coordinate separately. So at t equals to pi by 6, so we know x will be 0, so we have to find the value of y. So y equals to a sine t. So a sine pi by 6. So a sine pi by 6 means 30 degrees. Sine 30 degree is half. So a by 2. So we're going to take the coordinates. Point x coordinate is 0, y coordinate is a by 2. Let's not write this. We just know that the x coordinate is 0. The y coordinate, let's use this one. So equation of, so let's write the gradient rule. So gradient of tangent equals to minus root 3 by 6. Now we have to write the equation. Y minus y1 is a by 2 equals to m is minus root 3 by 6 x minus x1. So that would be y minus a by 2 equals to minus root 3 by 6 into x, because x minus 0 is x. So therefore y equals to root 3 by 6 x plus a by 2. I think I forgot the minus here. This is minus root 3 by 6, minus root 3 by 6, so it would be minus here, minus, to put the minus here. So that's the thing, that's the equation of the tangent. Question number B says find the area of the finite region between the curve and the tangent at A and the x-axis shown in the shaded region. So this is what they have to, so let me draw the shaded region here. So we have this, we have the y-axis, so this is the tangent, the curve is like this, so the shaded region is this one. In C2, so this is the line, tangent line, this is the curve, and this is the x-axis. In C2, this is called the type 3 sum, where you have to find the region based on bounded by 3 types. One is the curve, the other one is the line, and the x-axis. So the region is bounded by a curve, a line, and the x-axis. So for this, what we can do here is we have to find the area of this line. So that would be this triangle. So if we find the area of this triangle, we can actually, we don't have to do integration for this, we can use geometry for this area. So if you know the height, if you know the base, so we can find the area as half into base into height. Let me call this area 1. Then what we can do is we can find the area of this curve from here, from this point 0, from this point to this point B. So if this is A, this is O, and this is D, so the area would be half into OD into OA. Now for the curve, this is the curve, the only way for finding the area is by integration. Let me use a different color here. So the only way we can find the area is by integration. So we can write area 2 equals to limit O to limit B y dx. So this is how we can find the area, and after finding both the area, for finding this region, the region that we want to find, so the main area would be larger area minus the smaller area. So that's how we can do the sum. So let's get back to the sum. So what we want to find for finding the area here, we can find out where does this tangent cuts the x-axis. If we know where does the tangent cut the x-axis and we know the y-coordinate of A, so half into base into height, we can find the area of this triangle. So we know that the equation of the tangent is this one. So if we write at D y equals to 0, because D means x-axis, x-axis means y equal to 0, so we can write y equals to minus square root of 3 by 6 x plus a by 2. So we can write square root of 3 by 6x equals to a by 2. If we cross multiply, a equals to x equals to a by 2 into 6 divided by square root of 3. 2 3s are 6. We can write 3a divided by square root of 3. So this is the value of x. So that means the area would be half into base OD. OD means 3a square root of 3 into height. The height is the y coordinate. We already found the y coordinate, a by 2. This would be a by 2. So if we find the area, this would be 3a square divided by 4 square root of 3. Let me repeat what's happening here. So we have this is O, this is D. D has coordinate x coordinate, D has x coordinate 3 a by root 3, and we have this as a has y coordinate a by 2. So we're finding the area. Let me call this area 1. So half into base into height, so we are finding that area. So this is this area. So the area of AOD, this triangle, we have found using basic geometry, half into base into height. Now we have to find the area under this curve. So we know this is 0. So if this is 0, at 0, if we put y equal to 0, we will find the value of t as 0. So we know at 0 t equal to 0, and we have to find at b what's t equals to. So we have to find where does this curve cuts the x-axis. So let's find the limits here. So this is question number B. We're doing B. So at x-axis y equal to 0. So if you put y equals to 0, so what is the expression in terms of y? So y equals to a sine t. So y equals to a sine t. Therefore a sine t equals to 0. Therefore sine t equals to 0. That makes t equals to sine t 0 is at 0 degree, 180 degree and 360 degree. So we need only 2. So 0 to pi. So the limit of this integration is going to be 0 to pi. So we can write area 2 equals to, we have limit x1 to x2 y dx. That's the area we're looking for. This is the area we're looking for. This is the area. So this is O, this is B. So at O t equals to 0, at B t equals to pi. Remember, we need the first two only. So this is the curve. Curve has y equals to a sine t. This is the equation of the curve, and we are looking for this area. That's what we are looking for. So what we can do, the first thing we can do is the limit. So the limit substitution, we know t equals to 0 and t equals to pi, so the limit has been done. We know now we have to substitute dx. So the first thing we have here, x equals to a cos 3t. So x equals to a cos 3t. So therefore the derivative of x is dx by dt. So a, this will be minus sine 3t into 3. So this would be minus 3a sine 3t. So therefore the substitution of dx would be minus 3a sine 3t dt. Hence, let's do the substitution. Area 2 equals to, the limit is going to be 0 to pi, y is going to be a sine t, dx is going to be minus 3a sine 3t dt. If we simplify this, it would be 0 to pi minus 3a squared, a into a is a squared, sine t into sine 3t. Okay, so all set, but one thing needs to be mentioned here. The limit here is from here, origin O. So at O, x equals to 0. So we don't know whether t equals to 0, we just know here x equal to 0 and here x equals to something else. We need the limit. So I think we have already done this. So x equals to 0, if we review what we did before, yes, we already know when x equals to 0, t equals to pi by 6. So I didn't notice this because the board was here, out here. So when x equals to 0, one of the limit was x equals to 0. Since we have already found this, so we have to plug this in first. So since we had already found this, at the limit x equal to 0, we know this is t equals to pi by 6. And so the other one here is going to be t equals to 0 because there are three values here. When y equals to 0, meaning at the x-axis, so the value of t is at the x-axis, so one of them is going to be 0. So I guess this one is going to be 0. T equal to 0. It's very important to note whether some value has been found before or not. So that means we have to do a little bit of change here. So when x equals to 0, the lower limit is now going to be okay, so the lower limit is going to be pi by 6 because 0 to b. So the limit is going to be from 0 to b. This is the limit. So it's going to be pi by 6 to 0, pi by 6 to 0. That's what it has to be. Okay, so now we have a negative here. Now the rule is if you reverse or switch the limit, the negative sign becomes positive sign. So if you write 0 to pi by 6, this becomes 3a square sine t cos sine t sine 3t dt. So this is what it becomes. Now how to integrate this? You see, this is sine t and this is sine 3t. It doesn't go to any structure, but there is one structure that is given in the formula booklet. Let me show the formula booklet. So this is the formula booklet, and in formula booklet you will see here in C3, this is the C3 page of the formula booklet, there are some identities given. Now these identities are exclusively for integration. Now if you take a look at the integration, it is sine t sine 3t. Now if we look back here, so sine t sine 3t, so there is only one sine, so this must be the case. So sine t sine 3t could be something like this. So now we need this identity to do that. So if we can write this sine t sine 3t as cos, we can use the fundamental rule of calculus to integrate this. So we need this identity to do that sum. So if you think about t and 3t, how can we add two numbers and get t, or subtract two numbers and get 3t? This can be done, if you think about it. To get 3t, we need 2t and t. To get t, we can do 2t minus t. So if you think about this, we can think of this. Let me write it out here. Sine t sine 3t. I can write this as sine t as 2t by 2 and sine 3t as 6t by 2. Remember, it has to be something by 2. So t can be written as 2t by 2, so that 2 cancels and we get t back, and 3t can be written as 6t by 2. So if we write sine, if we subtract 4t minus 2t, we get 2t. If we write 4t plus 2t, we get 60. So we got our identity. So we can consider this to be the A and this to be the B. So we can write cos A minus cos B. That was the identity. So cos A minus cos B. All we need is A plus B by 2, A minus B by 2. But there's one more thing. There has to be a minus 2 here. So we don't have any minus 2 with this, so we can send this to the other side and write minus half directly. So we can write since there has to be a minus 2 in front, and in our sum we don't have any minus 2, we can just send this to the other side and we can write sine t sine 3t equals to this into minus half. So using the identity 0 to pi by 6 3a square, this into minus half cos 4t minus cos 2t dt. By simplifying it further, we can just 0 to pi by 6 minus 3a square by 2 cos 4t minus cos 2t dt. Now we can one more time switch this pi by 6 to 0 and this would become positive again. This comes in handy. Cos 4t minus cos 2t dt. So this is going to be, if you bring 3a square by 2 outside the integration, this would be pi by 6 to 0 cos 4t minus cos 2t dt. So by integration this would be 3a square by 2, cos would be sine 4t by 4 minus sine 2t by 2 divided by pi by 6 to 0. If we put the limit 3a square by 2, so this is going to be 0, sine 0 is 0, 0 by 4 is 0, minus sine 0 is 0, 0 by 2 is 0. So we can do this. Remember, this 3a square by 2 is multiplied by the whole thing. So minus, now if I put pi by 6, sine 4 into pi by 6, that is going to be, let me do it in the calculator directly. So pi by 6 is 30 degree. So sine 4 into 30 degree is going to be root 3 by 2. So this is root 3 by 2 divided by 4 minus sine 2t means sine 60 degree. Pi by 6 is 30 degree. So 2 into 30 degree, 60 degree. Sine 60 degree is also root 3 by 2 and we have divided by 2. So that means 3a square. Now we can write minus root 3 by 8 minus root 3 by 2 divided by 2 is 4. So the answer would be, there is no space here, let me write it here, 3a square by 2 and minus root 3 this and this. Let me do the calculation. So minus 1 by 8 minus 1 by 4, so minus 1 by 8 minus 1 by 4 is minus 3 by 8, so minus 3 by 8 root 3. So we can further simplify and write 3 3 is a 9, a square root 3 divided by 2 8 is a 16, and we have a minus. So we found this value. So to find the actual area, okay, this is so cluttered, I will not be surprised if I make a mistake here, but this maybe there is a mistake here. So after all this, we have to get back to the original. This is a2, so where is this? Is a2, and we have a1. So now the area would be a2 a1, the larger area, minus a2. Remember, this was the triangle, this was the area of the triangle that we found, and this was the area of this that we found. So a1 was 3a squared divided by 4 root 3 minus, what is this? I cannot even read this. This is it 3 minus 3 a square root 3 by 16 minus 3a squared by 16 root 3. So we have to do the calculation. And what was the question? Question was to find the area of the shaded region. So that would be the area of the shaded region. And after that, let me double check. I think I found the mistake here. Okay, the mistake is minus into minus, this should be plus. Okay, I found the mistake. That means this would be 1 by 4 minus 1 by 8. So this would be, let me bring out the calculator, 1 by 4 minus 1 by 8. This is 1 by 8. So that means 3a square by 2 into root 3 by 8. Okay, because the area cannot be negative here, so that's why that's why I was getting concerned about this, because this was coming in negative. So that was the reason. So this would be 3a square root 3 by 16. 3a square root 3 by 16. So 3a square root 3 by, oh, this is correct. So area 1 minus area 2. So now we know what this area is. We can simplify this. One way of simplifying is taking the third, multiplying upstairs and downstairs with root 3. This comes in handy. This is from C1. So root 3 upstairs and root 3 downstairs. So what happens? 3 into root 3 is 3a square root 3. Root 3 into root 3 is 3. 4 3 is 12. So that means if we take 3a square root 3 common, it will be 1 by 12 minus 1 by 16. So that means 1 by 12 minus 1 by 16. That would be 1 by 48. So this would be 3a square root 3 by 48. If I cancel this, 3 1s are 3, 3 6 is 18. This would be a square root 3 by 16. Okay, so this is the area of the shaded region. So we finally did it. We found the mistake. Actually, I found the mistake. We didn't find the mistake. So that was the shaded region. Okay, now we have to find that the total area. Remember, total area, we just found this one. This is what we found, this one. The total area, this and this is mean if you find this area into 2, so the area into 2 would give you the total area. So we know, so area equals to 10. So total area is 2 into, where is the area we just found? It will be difficult to find here. Okay, got it. A square root 3 by 16. A square root 3 by 16 into 10, because that region only found this much, only this much, and the total area is both this and this. So you take this and this into 2, they are equal. So from here we can do 2 8s are 16. So a square root 3 equals to 80. Therefore a square equals to 80 divided by root 3. Now we can do the calculation very easily. We have to find the value of a. So we have to find the value of a, has to be in positive values. So 80 divided by square root of 3, that would be 46.188. 46.188. Therefore a equals to square root of 46.188. Obviously these are not exam type sums, but it helps you if you do the difficult sums. It gives you an idea of the easier sums. 6.796. 6.796, that is the value of a. Phew.